name is Danica Jefferey. I'm in the IB cohort, and my inquiry revolved around natural classrooms. Specifically, how can we integrate nature into learning, and what is its impact on student development? So this question has always been important to me because I grew up in various wild places around BC and the Yukon, and nature has always been a very large part of my life. I developed quite an extensive amount of my understandings from Lou's research and his terming of this new phenomenon they're calling nature deficit disorder, which has taken into account a whole range of implications and consequences that are starting to develop in youth from having this disconnection from nature, and those consequences are ranging in almost every spectrum of their lives and development, from physical, spiritual, social, emotional, and cognitive levels. So I really wanted to address those issues, and being a teacher, I'm really familiar with how much work goes into both students and teachers' days, so it was important for me to develop ways of helping to incorporate nature into student learning without adding to the workload of either teacher or student. So I've got 5 different ways that nature can be incorporated into student learning. Classroom environment being the beginning one, so having natural materials in your classroom as often as possible rather than plastic, being really aware of the colors that are being used, so having a balance between earthy and vibrant, things like that. And classroom placement is a really easy fix for getting kids involved in nature, and it's just simply taking a regular lesson in any subject and placing your kids outside and having them sit on the grass. Even just that simple replacement of students shows, or the research showed, increase in motivation, concentration, and cognitive development as well. There's daily physical activity that you can take advantage of, so taking kids out for nature walks where they're just able to look around and experience and enjoy being out in nature and the world. There's tons of ways that you can integrate it into the curriculum. So, for example, in math, you can see natural examples of patterns in nature, mathematical equations, shapes. You can bring music into your curriculum, going outside, listening to all the music that occurs around in the environment, things like that. And if you want to get a little more involved, there's school gardens, which I've outlined a bunch of resources available for teachers that they can either do as a classroom project, a whole school project, and it's a really great way of bringing community together to help with student development. And up here are a couple of the benefits that I found, and then a slightly more extensive list of all the benefits that students receive when reintroduced to nature, including increased social interactions and more positive social interactions. Their play is more imaginative and creative. Even in students with ADHD, concentration and motivation was increased, and the myriad of physical benefits in terms of getting sick less often, and even decreasing myopia in students, which I found really interesting. I wasn't expecting that. But, so that was my project, and I'm really hoping to be able to use it into my practicum. It's something that's really important to me, and hopefully I set it out in a way that makes it easy for other educators to do so as well.